Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Ashikin binti Zu. Today, I want to introduce about the small and medium enterprise. The small and medium enterprise (SME) play a vital role in the development of the Malaysian government's economic growth. With about 1 million establishments in the country, SME contribute 37.1% of the Malaysian GDP, 66% of employment, and 17.3% of exports. The majority of Malaysian SME are micro-enterprise, 77%, and the bulk of this business are concentrated in the service sector, 89%. In Malaysia, SME generally face difficulties in obtaining finance with lack of collateral and insufficient documents to support loan application. This lack of financial track record is the main constraint faced by Malaysian SME in accessing financing. SME are vital for economic growth and development in both industrialized and developing countries because they play a key role in creating new jobs. Financing is necessary to help them set up and expand their operations, develop new products, and invest in new staff or production facilities. As part of the bank's functions to promote a sound, progressive and inclusive financial sector, efforts have been directed towards developing a holistic SME financing ecosystem. This includes addressing information asymmetry and market imperfections, which are key barriers to finance. There have been significant strides made in the areas of credit information, credit guarantee, specialized funds, advisory services, redress and debt resolution arrangements. From a bank's perspective, the financing to SME is often regarded to be of higher risk due to the relative opaqueness of these firms as compared to larger firms.
First, it is to buy equipment. It is significant to start up a business. They will have two choices, either buy or lease the equipment. Plus, it is vital to the business operation. With the proper equipment, the business are able to run smoothly. Secondly is to increase working capital. Use credit lines or short-term loans and investment to improve the working capital. Credit line allows small businesses to enterprises to continue the business operation in the absence of cash flow. Third is to expand operation. Either hiring more staff, expand internationally, or expand range of services, usually require external financing. Businesses use external financing for business expansion to avoid spending too much on capital aspect of the business. Last is to purchase inventory. Useful in retail business as they must pay the supplier for stock that will be warehoused for some period of time before sale to the customers. Vital as it affects the smoothness of the seasonal fluctuation of cash flow.
Next, I would like to discuss about financing problems of SME. The SME sector tends to suffer because SMEs are viewed as a less attractive investment opportunity than many others due to the high levels of uncertainty. This perception of risk is due to a number of reasons. Firstly, SMEs often have a limited track record in raising investment and providing suitable returns to their investors. Second, SMEs also have non-existent or very limited internal controls. Third, SMEs often have few external controls. For instance, they are unlikely to be abiding by the rules of any stock exchange, and due to their size, they are unlikely to attract much press scrutiny. Fourth, SMEs often have one dominant owner manager whose decisions may face little questioning. Lastly, SMEs often have few tangible assets to offer as security. As a result, investors are nervous of investing in SMEs as they are concerned about how their funds might be used and the returns they might get. Hence, the easiest thing for an investor is to decline any opportunity to invest in an SME, especially when there are so many other investment opportunities available to them.
Assalamualaikum, I am Nurafika. So I will continue on discussing about measures to ease the financing problems of SMEs. So there are several ways to solve the problems of SMEs, which is crowdfunding, loan scheme, government aid, venture capitalist funds, and supply chain financing. Firstly is crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is a way of raising investment into a business or project which uses online platforms to promote the concept and raise funds, which means crowdfunding platforms allows many investors to contribute into your business. There are several types of crowdfunding websites where SMEs can promote their business to raise funds, such as Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and Pitch-in. Secondly, loan scheme. Malaysian government has come up with many financing schemes to help SMEs start or grow their business. It is where the bank lends some amount of money to help SMEs to start up their business. For example, Graduate Entrepreneur Fund is open for startup business, which objective is to help young entrepreneurs start their business and also for those who already own business. Thirdly, government grant. A grant is a quantity of money, for example, financial assistance given by a government, organization, or person for a specific purpose. An example, Malaysian government announced an additional stimulus package worth 10 billion ringgit Malaysia to help struggling SMEs affected by the COVID-19 outbreak, and also an additional of 2.1 billion ringgit Malaysia has been allocated for all micro SMEs, where the government will give a special grant worth 3,000 each for 700,000 micro SMEs nationwide. The next is through government aid, which government adopted to respond to increase the attractiveness of SMEs, which is making share marketable and tax incentive. Making share marketable means the development of small firms market is designed to bridge this funding gap and provide venue for further fundraising. While tax incentives is Malaysia offers a wide range of tax incentive ranging from tax exemptions, allowances, and tax deduction. Allowances can generally even be carried forward until fully utilized. These tax incentives vary based on the sector your business is in. Fifthly is venture capitalist fund. It is where venture capital company, normally a highly organization, can provide SMEs with the funds that needed to go to market and expand the business. VC company will study the SME's business plan and will decide whether to invest or not to the SMEs. Last but not least is supply chain financing, which is a set of solutions that optimize cash flow by allowing businesses to lengthen their payment terms to their suppliers while providing the option for their large and SME suppliers to get paid early.
Now we'll be discussing on sources of financing for SME and the financial impact of different sources of finance on SME. There are several sources for SME. Firstly, there are owners, family, and friends. When owners of SME face lack of capital, first option is to invest by himself from available sources.
or seek help from his family and friends. For an example, he can get from his personal saving or by borrowing from family and friends. The advantage of using this financing source is because this kind of financing is considered as source of trust capital, and the investor are ready to accept lower or no interest in their investment because the investor's solely purpose is not monetary. And the disadvantage of these sources is it can affect the relationship in a negative way, and this kind of financing is limited.
Next is trade credit. Trade credit emerges when a company purchases goods and services on deferred payment. It's a short-term credit, and payment becomes due in 30 to 60 days. If payment is not made within the stipulated time period, interest charges are imposed. The benefit of using these sources is the following most external significant approach of SME financing in almost all developed and developing countries. It also an impulsive kind of financing for SME, as it arises directly from ordinary business transactions. And the disadvantage of using these sources is it can become an expensive way of financing if payments are not paid within the required window, and the period of trade credit is also limited. Next, we have business angel. Business angel are those people who have high net worth, willing to invest in new business without any personal family relationships. One of the advantage of using business angel is it play vital role in SME financing by providing the small amounts of loan to the firm in early stage of its growth, and it also assists firms to increase the flow of finance by contributing directly. And the disadvantage of business angel, it takes long time to find the appropriate angel investor, and the owner has to give up some of his business share. Last but not least, we have venture capitalists. Venture capitalists are a type of private equity firms, but venture capitalists provide funds to only those companies who are in early stage of their business cycles. These are emerging small companies with high growth potentials. One of the pros or advantage of using venture capitalists is it takes part in strategic planning and decision making of the firm, and it also assists SMEs to solve many organizational problems which trouble them. And the cons or disadvantage of venture capitalists is it is high uncertainty. Hypothetically, expecting high return on their investment portfolio. Next, SME also must have a promising business idea which may generate high profit for venture capitalists as his expectation if they want to get funded by the venture capitalists.